50 Cent is going after Rick Ross again after reports claim Ross's new album Set in Stone is projected to sell under 26,000 copies in its first week. 50 mocked him online, joking that he'd have to promote car shows and sell chicken wings. The longtime rap feud just got even hotter.
Curtis. You so infatuated with my lifestyle. Just imagine if I had the chance to slap 50 Cent with this shit right here. Come get it, 50.
Think about Ross and his career that you'd have any respect for?
Oh, no, there's nothing there. I never wanted to work with.
50 Cent is back on Rick Ross's case after early reports claimed Ross's new album, Set in Stone, could sell fewer than 26,000 copies in its first week. As soon as those numbers started making the rounds, 50 wasted no time jumping online with jokes. He teased that Ross might have to start promoting car shows and selling chicken wings to make up for it.
That's what's up. I got a couple more questions we get out of here.
Too easy. Hey, you know that nigga 56 ain't dressed up. Hey, what you think about that nigga baby mama?
What's her name?
You know, the Chinese girl.
Yeah, I met her.
I did too.
I met you. And then fifth, y'all, you don't fuck with fifth like that.
No,
like,
dog can't dress.
He can't dress.
You know dog can't dress. Come on now.
Because you ain't Rick Ross, right? You look like you might want to be Rick Ross. You might be Flick Floss.
Their longtime rap rivalry just turned up the heat once again. Rick Ross is making headlines, but maybe not in the way he expected. Last weekend, he released his new album, Set in Stone, and the internet reacted almost instantly.
I want to make this clear. I was just asked a question. I see what's still going on with you and 50 Cent. You mean you won't do no business with 50 Cent? I would. 50 Cent, I see you raising money for your film ideas. You asked a close friend of mine. I saw the renderings, the drawings of what you believe your studio could be like in Shreveport. I'm gonna give you a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to come sit down at the table and present your ideas. I won't make you any promises. Men of business don't discuss the past.
Fans and critics flooded social media with opinions, and the conversation spread fast. Many people were expecting a major comeback, especially with the title as bold as Set in Stone. But instead of everyone celebrating the release, some listeners acted like they had already made up their minds before giving the album a fair listen. That sparked even more debate across social media. Rather than seeing everyone rush to stream the project, online discussions focused on whether the album had enough energy to stand alongside today's biggest releases. Plenty of people shared their takes, and opinions were all over the place. The album includes 19 tracks and features artists like T.I., French Montana, Max B, YFN Lucci, Big X The Plug, and Young Miami.
I'm deciding to your life up. Rick, I'm a your life up.
On paper, many agreed the guest list looked impressive. Still, others argued that even a lineup like that wasn't enough to generate the level of excitement they expected. Before long, social media filled with jokes, with some people saying the album went wood or even triple copper, instead of reaching the huge sales numbers everyone loves to talk about. In street slang, that's basically another way of saying the rollout didn't connect the way supporters were hoping. That led many fans to ask the same question: what happened to the massive buzz Rick Ross used to create every time he dropped a new project? The streaming numbers quickly became the center of the conversation. According to early reports, Set in Stone brought in around 1.83 million Spotify streams during its first day. Once those figures appeared online, people immediately started doing their own calculations and sharing predictions across social media. Using common industry estimates, many users figured those streams worked out to roughly 1,200 album units. That kicked off even more debate about what the final first week total could look like.
All our prices is set in stone. Flick Floss.
Since opening day is usually the strongest streaming period for a new release, many fans believe those early numbers may offer a reasonable preview of where the album could finish, although official totals can still change as more data comes in. Before long, social media was overflowing with screenshots, calculators, and non-stop debates as people tried to predict how the album would finish. Everyone seemed to have their own estimate, and the conversation spread across music pages, fan accounts, and comment sections. Based on those early streaming numbers, many people guessed the album could end its first week at around 2,000 units, although the official totals can always change once every platform finishes reporting. Until the final numbers arrive, all of those estimates remain unofficial, but they still fueled plenty of discussion online. Whether those predictions turn out to be right or wrong, one thing became obvious. The spotlight shifted away from the music itself and landed squarely on the album's commercial performance. Fans and critics were watching closely, waiting to see if the final results would match all the early forecasts. Long before release day, many people were already saying this project might not deliver massive first-week sales, and that opinion only kept spreading.
Yo, that line happened to come true crazy. He said I was Aiden Ross's streams before Aiden Ross had ever streamed. Boy, yo, Ross's streams looked a little crazy this week, huh? Yeah, Ross's streams did look a little crazy. I can't even cap with you still. Yeah, Ross came out and like the numbers on streaming were mad. Now I kind of like, that line kind of hits different because I think the entire album, I think a recent Drake song like did more than like his whole album of streams. Ross's album streams was notoriously low. Supposedly he did less than 10K.
I ain't done Rose album in stores right now. We in New York City and Hot 97's playing the whole Ross album right now. Listen.
Fans talked about it, music blogs covered it, and countless social media users shared their own takes. Many people also believed Rick Ross and his team likely understood what the expectations looked like before the album even arrived. Just a few days before Set in Stone was released, Rick Ross posted a video that quickly started making the rounds online. In the clip, he said people could laugh or make jokes if they wanted because, according to him, he had already been paid for the project. His message suggested that the business side of the release had already been handled. No matter how the sales numbers eventually turned out, people interpreted that video in different ways. Some saw it as a confident response from someone who wasn't worried about outside opinions. Others felt it sounded like he was trying to manage expectations before the official sales figures became public. Either way, the clip grabbed attention and gave everyone something else to debate before many listeners had even finished the full album. Even with all that talk, the promotion kept rolling.
A new Rick Ross album out right now. Yeah? Go get that.
My cousin went to his concert last week.
It was big. Let's get to it.
We not letting the fuck up on you, nigga. You hopped in beef for no fucking reason, nigga. You inserted yourself when you had nothing to do with this shit. So let's break this down. Nigga, you did 1.8 in your first day, which equivalates to 1,220 albums sold. The biggest flop of them all, nigga.
After Set in Stone reached the #1 spot on the iTunes chart, Rick Ross's team quickly shared promotional graphics with blogs and entertainment pages to highlight the achievement. Supporters pointed to that milestone as proof that loyal fans were still showing strong support, while others argued that the streaming numbers and first-week totals would provide a broader picture over the days ahead. At the same time, Rick Ross stayed highly visible, making appearances across several media platforms to keep the album in the spotlight. One of the biggest stops was the Joe Budden podcast, where conversations naturally turned to his new project, his career, and the reaction surrounding the release.
What's one thing you hate that motherfuckers be talking about you, like on the internet, that you hate that?
I'm gonna be honest, I ain't tripping. Yeah, cause if it's some good funny shit, I could enjoy it too.
Now, are you putting the Drake beef to rest?
Honestly, I discuss a lot of things. You know, Set in Stone is all about etching a little bit at a time.
I don't understand. You're squashing the beef.
We'll
So I don't know if that means
Ricky Rose is
From viral social media clips and blog coverage to podcast interviews and promotional posts, it was clear that Rick Ross and his team kept pushing the album at every opportunity. Even as the debate over its commercial performance continued to grow, the rollout stayed active, giving fans and critics even more to discuss as they waited for the official first-week results. Whether people were celebrating the album's #1 iTunes ranking or focusing on the early streaming projections, one thing stood out. Rick Ross remained one of the biggest talking points in hip-hop that entire week. Every new update seemed to spark another wave of reactions, giving fans and critics something fresh to argue about, even with all the interviews, promotion, and media appearances.
Morning glory, baby. Listening to the #1 record on iTunes. For the streamers, keep streaming, downloading. Everybody that's getting their physical vinyls, physical CDs, their exclusive merch. Good looking, baby. Album of the year. Listen to the vibes, the production, the wordplay. It's a motherfucking boat, you heard me?
many people still believed the album might not post the huge first week numbers some had expected. In hip-hop, everyone knows the internet moves fast. If an album doesn't live up to expectations, the jokes usually start almost immediately, especially when the artist has a longtime rival paying close attention. That's exactly what happened once the early sales estimates started making headlines. It didn't take long for 50 Cent to jump into the conversation on Instagram. Reacting to the early reports, he posted, "I just saw your record sales. LOL 2000. That short message spread across blogs and social media in no time, adding even more attention to the ongoing debate. Supporters on both sides rushed into the comments. Some laughed at the early projections, while others reminded everyone that unofficial estimates don't always match the final certified numbers.
When it comes to making moves, I'm telling y'all this because I'm getting ready. I'm doing some, album shit, right? But for the ones that want to know, this album number 12, Rose, how are you always so confident when it comes to your business, because it go the way I wanted to go? My album come out, I'm already paid before the album come out. It's Rose. I don't know when them niggas sit on them podcasts doing all them little deals, I don't know what little niggas y'all talking to. The industry has changed, and guess what? As a boss, you put the number up there. This is what we gonna do, just to do business with me. I've sold records, nigga, for the last 20 years. You know what I do, not just for myself, but the entire brand. Rose paid. I pray y'all niggas get paid before the album come out, nigga, because when you put the album together, that's the work.
Reports claiming Set in Stone could sell fewer than 26,000 copies during its opening week only added more fuel to the discussion. 50 kept the jokes coming, teasing that Rick Ross might have to promote car shows and sell chicken wings. Those comments quickly became another headline, reminding everyone that their rivalry is still one of rap's longest-running feuds. As always, the back and forth between the two stars became almost as big a story as the album itself. It showed once again how, in hip-hop, chart performance and online reactions often become part of the entertainment. Whenever artists with years of history trade shots, every sales update, chart position, and viral headline can turn into another round of public debate.
Rick Ross is trying to jump ahead of a flop. I've never seen this before. There's lack of promotion, no proper single rollout. It's kind of a mess. Usually, you got Drake. There's no Drake on this album.
One quote that also made the rounds during the exchanges was, "Wait to pay your rent, Curtis Jackson. Baby mama ain't asking. Ain't nothing wrong with cutting your grass." Like many moments in this rivalry, it quickly became part of the conversation as fans continued trading opinions online. Still, once you put the sales debate to the side and focus on the music itself, plenty of listeners had positive things to say about the project. This isn't about promoting the album, it's simply an opinion based on the songs. While working out over the weekend, 2 tracks stood out to many listeners: Maybach Music 7, featuring Jeezy and Don Toliver, and Livin' Large, with Rick Ross and Big Sta Plug.
Yo, that line happened to come true crazy. He said I was Aiden Ross's streams before Aiden Ross had ever streamed. Boy, yo, Ross's streams looked a little crazy this week, huh? Yeah, Ross's streams did look a little crazy. Still. Yeah, Ross came out and the numbers on streaming were mad low. Now I kind of that line kind of hits different.
Both records deliver the polished production, detailed lyrics, and relaxed confidence that fans have associated with Rick Ross for years. Even some people who questioned the commercial performance acknowledged that the album includes several strong tracks worth hearing. If you enjoy polished rap production, sharp lyricism, and the luxury-inspired style Rick Ross has built his reputation on, there's a good chance you'll find a few songs here that deserve a listen, regardless of where the final sales numbers land. Commercial success and musical quality don't always go hand in hand. Many fans believe Set in Stone should be judged by the music on the track list, instead of early sales projections alone.
Name 3 things that annoy you.
3 things?
That annoy you.
If you ain't got no weed.
Okay.
Yeah. If you ain't got no weed, you know what I'm saying? That's a bad thing.
3 things that bring you joy.
Weed. You fuck with Wingstop, don't you? Lemon pepper extra crispy. That shit put a smile on Rose.
For some listeners, the album has already earned a place in the conversation about some of this year's stronger hip-hop releases. No matter how the final numbers turn out, the reason so many people paid attention to 50 Cent's response is simple. This wasn't some random disagreement that started overnight. These two have been trading shots for years, and their rivalry has become one of the most talked about feuds in hip-hop. Every new exchange grabs attention because fans know the history between them. A lot of people say 50 Cent likes to troll other artists, but here's why some fans felt this latest situation wasn't completely out of nowhere. Before the album was released, Rick Ross appeared on a podcast with Fat Joe and Jadakiss.
We not letting the fuck up on you, nigga. You hopped in beef for no fucking reason, nigga. You inserted yourself when you had nothing to do with this shit. So let's break this down. Nigga, you did 1.8 in your first day, which equivalates to 1,220 albums sold. The biggest flop of them all, nigga. You turned on Drake for no reason, nigga. You thought that was gonna be the end of Drake. So you wanted to hop on that fucking boat because you were a low-key hater the whole fucking time. You hated how every song that he did with you blew up, but your own shit sucks. So you hopped on that fucking train, nigga. So stay on that side, nigga. 1,200 albums sold your first day. That's embarrassing, nigga. 1.8, Janice streams 2 million per day. Let's talk about it, nigga.
During the conversation, Fat Joe was discussing older rappers whose careers had slowed down. At one point, Rick Ross brought up 50 Cent's name, even though Fat Joe indicated he wasn't referring to him. Ross was also wearing a large ring that he said was extremely valuable. During the discussion, he joked about the idea of using that ring to hit 50 Cent. Fat Joe immediately pushed back, telling him that wasn't the topic they were discussing, and suggesting he was taking the conversation in a different direction. Jadakiss could be seen laughing as the exchange unfolded, making the moment even more noticeable to viewers. Even after Fat Joe tried to move the conversation away from 50 Cent, Rick Ross continued making comments and brought up other names as well. The discussion quickly spread online, with clips circulating across social media as fans debated what was actually meant and whether the conversation had gone further than it needed to. As always, different people walked away with completely different opinions. Because of moments like that, many fans weren't surprised when 50 Cent eventually responded after the early sales estimates for Set in Stone started circulating. Given the history between the two artists, a reaction from 50 almost felt inevitable. His Instagram post became just another chapter in a rivalry that has lasted for well over a decade, and continues to grab headlines whenever either artist mentions the other. Supporters of both sides quickly defended their favorite artist. Some laughed at 50 Cent's jokes and said that's simply how he's always handled rivalries. Others argued that people should wait until the official first week numbers are released before reaching any major conclusions.
Rose, the history with you and 50, is it better now? You guys now friends? Like, do you guys talk now, or is it still no relationship?
Nah, homie Wash, we've never been cool.
From day one?
No.
This is a big business you guys are a part of. You guys are two of the heavyweights in the business.
I mean, what is there to talk about?
A lot of things to talk about. History, the beef.
What kind of history? That he couldn't dress? That's all I used to tell him. Yo, you can't dress. You're not really getting no money. You don't own your masters. Eminem saved you. Dr. Dre saved you. All the big names. Rose did it himself.
Since the early projections were unofficial, many fans felt it was too soon to judge the album's overall performance. No matter which side people supported, one thing was impossible to ignore. Their long-running feud once again became almost as big a story as the music itself. Every interview, social media post, or chart update seems to create another wave of discussion whenever Rick Ross and 50 Cent are involved. At this point, fans know that when both names appear in the same headline, the internet is almost guaranteed to light up with reactions and debate. Even after all these years, neither Rick Ross nor 50 Cent has lost the ability to dominate attention. Both artists have built careers that go far beyond just releasing music. Rick Ross has continued expanding his name through albums, business moves, and his larger-than-life brand, while 50 Cent has turned himself into a major force through television, entertainment, and other investments. That success outside of rap has given 50 Cent an even bigger spotlight whenever he decides to speak on something happening in hip-hop. His comments often travel beyond music circles and quickly become part of a much bigger online conversation. Meanwhile, Rick Ross has continued proving his staying power by releasing projects, connecting with his core audience, and maintaining his presence despite criticism from fans and rivals.
Set in stone, baby. Just the title just represent just etching every move I made over the last 20 years. Here we are, 20 summers later. We the big dogs, you know what I'm saying? And we still hustling, we still enjoy the music. Something that we love to do. I love to do it. I love to make music. You know what I mean? When the shit hot, it's hot.
That's exactly why this latest situation caught so much attention. It wasn't only about one album, one sales prediction, or one Instagram post. It was about two artists with years of history, competition, and public back and forth behind them. Whether people agree with 50 Cent's jokes or believe Rick Ross should simply focus on the music, the reaction shows how much interest still surrounds their rivalry. Whenever either artist makes a move, the internet pays attention. A single headline involving both names can quickly spread across blogs, social media pages, and fan communities. Their long-running feud continues to keep people watching because nobody knows when the next response, interview moment, or viral clip might appear. Another major part of this conversation is how much the music industry itself has changed.
Project on the new album.
The perspective Rose giving you. You gotta realize I came in 20 years ago, every day I'm hustling from the mud to the marble. So now the perspective from the penthouse down to the streets, and we're gonna give you that perspective.
But some people would say you came in the game talking that shit.
I did. It was always about getting to the money. You know, I don't know if this shit went over niggas' heads. We talking about every day we hustling. Every day we going to get it. The White House. These are records on the first album. We speaking real estate. Buy back the block. That's what it always was. It maybe just because it came to fruition in front of niggas' eyes, some of it is unbelievable, but it's here.
So when you say a different perspective on this album, is there a difference in how it's executed today versus how you came in?
No, just the difference in the mindset. Nigga got a $500 million mindset now. This ain't the nigga trying to get his first 10, because when you get one, you know you can make it to 10. You get 10, you can make it to 100. Don't let nobody fool you. You get 100, you could get a B.
Years ago, first week album sales were often treated as the final scoreboard. A strong debut could define an artist's success, while a disappointing opening could completely change the public conversation around a project. Today, the situation is much more complicated. Streaming numbers, social media reactions, short-form videos, loyal supporters, playlists, and viral moments all influence how people view an album. A project can start slowly and still gain attention weeks or months later if more listeners continue discovering the music. That's why some fans believe judging an album by one number doesn't always show the complete picture. They argue that long-term impact, memorable songs, and fan connection matter just as much as the first week results. Others still believe opening numbers are important because they reveal how much excitement an artist created when the project first arrived. That exact debate surrounded Set in Stone. Some people focused heavily on the projected sales and questioned the album's commercial performance. Others pushed back and said the music itself deserved more attention than the early estimates. The disagreement helped make the project one of the most talked about rap releases of the week, showing that online conversation can sometimes become just as powerful as chart positions. At the same time, Rick Ross is far from a new artist trying to prove himself. He has spent years building a respected catalog filled with successful albums, major collaborations, and memorable records with some of hip-hop's biggest names. Because of that history, many supporters believe it is too soon to judge the entire project based only on its opening numbers. They feel his overall career and influence should also be part of the conversation. Many supporters argue that artists with long careers often create music for their loyal fans instead of chasing every new trend taking over the charts. They believe veteran artists should be judged by their overall impact and connection with their audience, not only by how they perform in a changing industry. On the other side, critics believe established artists are still expected to make a major statement whenever they drop a new album, especially when the project includes a lineup of recognizable features and a strong promotional push. To them, big names and big collaborations naturally create higher expectations. No matter which side people agree with, one thing is obvious. The conversation around Set in Stone has become much bigger than the songs alone. Between the early sales projections, social media reactions, jokes from rivals, and non-stop fan debates, Rick Ross has once again found himself at the center of a major hip-hop discussion. People are still watching closely to see how the story develops in the weeks ahead. For longtime Rick Ross supporters, there is still plenty to enjoy on Set in Stone. The album delivers the smooth production, confident delivery, and luxury-inspired style that many listeners have connected with throughout his career. Fans who already enjoy Rose's signature sound will likely find familiar elements that made them follow his music in the first place. At the same time, the conversation around the album's commercial performance has been impossible to avoid. Based on the early reports and projections circulating online, the project appeared to have a slower opening than some people expected. That led to bigger discussions about the challenges veteran artists face when trying to create huge first-week moments in today's music landscape. Around the same period, DJ Khaled also revealed that he was pushing back his own album release. Some fans connected that move to the current state of the industry, although artists delay projects for many different reasons. Still, it added to the larger conversation about how competitive the music business has become. One thing is becoming very clear: the rules of success continue to change. Having a dedicated fan base remains important, but many believe artists also need strong streaming momentum, a viral moment, a breakout record, or major collaborations that create excitement before an album even drops. Without that early wave of attention, making a huge first-week impact can be much harder. That doesn't automatically determine whether an album is good or bad, because music quality and commercial numbers are two different things. However, it does show just how competitive the modern music world has become. Meanwhile, the latest back and forth between 50 Cent and Rick Ross has added another unforgettable chapter to one of hip-hop's longest-running rivalries. Whether people are discussing the sales, the music, or the online reactions, this situation has given fans another major topic to debate alongside the album itself. Now, it's your turn to join the conversation. Do you think the early sales projections really show the full picture, or do you believe Set in Stone should be judged by the music itself? And what was your reaction to 50 Cent's response and the latest chapter in this long-running rivalry? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I want to know where you stand, whether you agree with the critics, support Rick Ross, or just enjoy watching the conversation unfold. Your opinion matters. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more hip-hop news and updates, share this video with your friends, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.